Welcome to Draw Cartoons. Here's another great drawing tutorial just for you today. Make sure you watch the whole video because, as always, I've got some great general tips for you peppered throughout the video. So if you do skip anything, you're probably going to miss out on some stuff you'll really wish you knew later. Hit that thumbs up and the subscribe button as it really helps this channel, and hit the bell so you never miss a tutorial. Let's get started. So as with every tutorial, I'm going to start out with some really basic shapes. So we're going to start with a circle here for the head, and then we're going to basically just build on that. So I'm going to cut this in half and then carry this on down here until I'm about 2 heads in height. So that's one head, that counts as one. And then if you want, if it's helpful at this point, you can draw another head underneath it, try and make it exactly as high. And that's going to be the floor here, okay? So now that you've got that floor marked with a line like that, you're not going to need this circle anymore, so grab your eraser if you drew that and just kind of tickle that away till it's gone. Now you want to draw a line across the middle of this head to form this kind of window look, and then this bottom half, we're left with like a bottom half of the head here, you want to cut this in half as well, again, so we end up with 2/4 and a half. And then we actually need to cut this second quarter here in half again. So again, very gently with your line, cut a line across, and there we go. Now for the rest of the body, we're going to start building out some shapes. So from this midpoint here, we're going to draw a triangle that comes out to about here, cuts across, and then another line from there to there. Try not to make that quite as wide as the head, and you should end up with pretty good proportion for your character. So for the hands, just going to draw a small circle here, that's all it is. On villagers, they don't have anything but circles for hands, which makes them way easier to draw. And if you like, you can basically just draw some sleeves in here. Link that up with a line for the arm. Again, another short sleeve there, and link that up. Now the space between this line and this line, you can cut this in half. And that's going to be the bottom of their shorts or whatever they're wearing. And you can basically just quickly draw in the shapes of the shorts there, sitting underneath that t-shirt. And then a couple of very small legs coming out of there, and some triangles for the shoes. And that, already, is all your basic shapes for your villager. So this is basically going to be the start point of our character here. So you can reproduce this part of the tutorial as many times as you like to keep rebuilding new designs for your villager. So if you're starting again, you might want to stop here and go back to 0 and just redraw this whole shape over and over and over again, so that you can keep working on it as a template. But if you're going for the actual design of your character from here, this is a good place to start. So for the eyes, I'm actually going to start with the design used in Super Smash Bros., the kind of classic male villager design, just to kind of give you guys an impression of what I'm talking about here. So starting with this line here, the line in between the 2 middle guidelines, we're going to draw a hump over here, this kind of semicircle shape, and then join it together. And another one on the other side. So up and over, and then there. So the thing about Animal Crossing characters is that with their eyes, they're usually fixed. They usually have like a fixed direction that they're looking in. Even if a character is looking straight at you, it's actually kind of, they're pointing this way, or they're always facing towards you. Animal Crossing characters don't really change the direction that their eyes are facing. So you can pick one side or the other, or have them facing directly towards you. Now this classic villager design has a triangle for the nose, which we already kind of have drawn. So you can just etch that out, just go over it with your pencil, make it look a bit more final. And we'll draw a little smile underneath that nose. Just a very small mouth, very basic. These are all very basic shapes at the moment, so this is a really nice, easy tutorial. And now for the ears. So you should start one ear here and finish it about there. And the other ear should be about over here. And they're just little semicircles either side of the head. Very small shapes. It's very easy to overdo that, so just draw them nice and small. Now for the hair actually goes up and over the guideline a little bit, so just draw another line, not too high, but curving over the top of the head that we drew just a moment ago, so there's a bit of thickness to the hair, because that's where his head would be if he was bald, but we're not going for a bald villager this time, we're going for the classic design, so we're going to draw the hairline up here, and this will be the case for a lot of short-haired villager. If you want your villager to have short hair, you want to do this, you want to draw this line up and over like that. We'll go into long hair later. So we'll start here with a sideburn, And then we're just going to draw those little zigzags up and down over the face, one in the middle there, and then back down for the other sideburn. And we've immediately cracked that kind of classic villager look straight away. So the rest of the character is basically drawn at this point, so we can start adding some little details really. We can add the number 1 on the front of his shirt. Unless you don't want to, you can start designing your character however you want at this stage. If you want to start planning out an outfit for them to wear, or whatever kind of design, maybe a polka dot design on the shorts like this, you can go for that at this stage. But if you're drawing the classic villager design, the only thing we really have to worry about now is the shoes and socks. So the socks will just be a tiny little line on the legs here, and then for the shoes, we need a line for the sole. And then just a little bit at the top of the shoe there, where the very kind of top of the foot would sit. And our drawing of the villager, the classic villager at this point, is actually done. So I'm going to reset this to the way it was before I started adding details, and I'm going to show you just how easy it is to customize your own villager when you're drawing. So we've got our previous example over here, the classic kind of Smash Brothers looking villager over here, and now we've got a new template. So if you need to redraw the template again, just go back to the beginning of the video and follow the tutorial till you get to this point here, and this is our basically starting point for any villager we're going to design. So we're going to start with some more basic eyes this time. So this is just going to be kind of like a tic-tac shape on either side of the center of the face, try and get it nice and symmetrical. And again, that kind of classic triangular nose, it's already kind of drawn by our guideline that we use to draw the body. And now I'm going to draw an open mouth. And I'm not going to stray outside of that guideline again, I'm going to keep within that kind of triangle there just because I feel like it, and a little tongue for the inside of that mouth. Now these eyes are looking very, very basic, so let's add a little shine to them. I'm going to add a little circle here, and a little circle there, and that's a generally good kind of tip to make eyes more lifelike and more shiny. And they look a bit scary at the moment, so I'm going to shade them in a bit just so we have a difference between black and white here. There we go. So once you colour those in black, they do actually look more like eyes and less like empty hovels. So now I'll add a little kind of eyelash on the outside of these eyes, and we immediately have this kind of very classic villager girl look with these eyes here. And to go with that, I'm going to design her a dress, and I'm going to go for some long hair. So again, the hair needs to go up and over. I'm going to just kind of draw this in very, very lightly so I know how high I want the hair to go, because remember, this line here means that she's bald. This is the top of her hair. So we need to add another little line on top just to kind of guide us for what sort of thickness we want the hair to be. So I like to design the fringe of hair first. So I'm going to start here, and I have done a tutorial on how to draw hair before, and it does translate to this, so I'm going to link that up here in the corner. But for now, I'm just going to draw a little kind of quiff going to the side here, then a bit going there behind one of her ears, and there again behind the other ear. We can actually draw those ears in if you want. At this point, just a couple of semicircles like this, either side of the head. And I can go kind of crazy with the design, so I'm going to draw a little bit up and over, a bit further out than the guideline would originally suggest, and then draw a hair that comes way out here behind her ear. Really, really cartoony, but you can do whatever you want with the hair at this point. This is your design. If you want to style your villager to have kind of cool spiky hair, you can do that. I'm actually going to add a couple more spikes down there because I can. There's nothing to stop me from doing that. So what about a dress? Well, she's wearing shorts at the moment, and that's not what I want her to wear, because it's not classically what a lot of female human villagers in Animal Crossing wear. I mean, she can if she wants, nothing to stop her from wearing shorts, but I'm simply making the choice to give her a dress instead. So I'm going to actually get rid of those lines down there, but this guideline, I'm actually going to guide this a bit further down and stop about here, halfway through the line that I just erased, and then bring it over here and guide it back up towards that guideline there. If you find it helpful, you can start to rebuild this central guideline just so you have a nice line of symmetry, and in doing so I've realised this part of the dress is a bit lower than this part of the dress. So I'm going to get my eraser and draw that again and just keep it nice and low this time. And there we go, line of symmetry is very, very useful indeed. So now I'm going to give her a little floral design, because that's the pattern that the female villager has on Super Smash Brothers. So I'm going to emulate that myself. But again, you can absolutely use your imagination to draw whatever you like here. You can give her like a polka dot pattern or a checkerboard pattern. You can draw any kind of cartoon character on there. It's totally yours. So now we'll just add a couple of circles for the, I guess, the trousers that she's wearing underneath this dress. and make sure those legs meet up with that. And I'm going to draw some soles for her shoes, and a little circle here for the tops of her sandals. So you can see how easy this is. When we get rid of the guidelines, when we get rid of, we don't need this anymore, we don't need any of these, I'm just going to clean this up just to kind of show you how easy this is. Because once you go over the lines you want to keep with your pen, you can easily get rid of these guidelines that you don't need anymore. Don't need that anymore or anything like that. And we have this really, really nice drawing of a villager straight away. It was super easy, just following those guidelines as a template, as a guide. We can design basically anything we want. So I'm going to do a few more. I'm going to speed them up just so you can kind of see me do them really quickly, and just so I can show you just how easy it can be. Is that some of our best work yet? Maybe. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Leave me a comment letting me know what you'd like me to draw next time. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you didn't already to get some more great tutorials just like this one. Until next time.